Hi students, today we are going to discussing about the disaster prevention and mitigation part 2. So in the previous class we have already discussed about the various hazards and its preventive and mitigative measures. So in this class we will continue the other type of disasters and its prevention and mitigative efforts. Now let's consider the first hazard, that is the hazards or risk related to the oil industry. In the oil industry, the disaster management plan is maintained at the area level with very wide aspect. And the oil companies that have established their crisis management plan at the company level as well as at the headquarters level with specialists to deal with the fire and other hazardous identified hazards. So in oil companies, it has been observed that the international players for rescue as well as the recovery operations are also hired at very short notice to cater to the specific requirements. Now we are moving to the chemical disasters. So the Ministry of Environment and Forest has taken the following measures towards developing a regulatory framework for the chemical safety, in which there are two acts are there. That is, first one is the Environment Protection Act, which is enacted in 1986, and another one is Public Liability Insurance Act in 1991. And under the Environment Act, there are two rules for the prevention and mitigation of the disasters like chemical disasters. So which include the first rule include the manufacture, storage and import of hazardous chemical rules, and another one is the chemical accidents under the Environment Protection Act 1986. These are the two rules which are related to this risk reduction of the chemical disasters. Another one is the Public Liability Insurance Act of 1991, which is also means for the risk reduction of the chemical disasters. And another disaster preventive measures related to the disasters in mines include the uh, preventive and mitigative effort taken by the Director General of Mine Safety, which examines from each and every day application for both ground as well underground as well as the surface mining from all considerations. So these are like that is the Direct General Mines of Safety, that is DGMS, are responsible for taking the measures for the reduction as well as reduction of the risk related to the disasters in mines, as well as for taking the preventive as well as mitigative measures in mines. So the officers of this DGMS, they will timely inspect these both underground as well as the surface mines and assess the implementation of the measures, whatever the preventive or mitigative measures are there. All these measures they will assess timely, and they suggest the modifications to these kind of arrangements or measures. And for a new project and reorganizational project, it has become compulsory to get the environmental clearance uh, by the Ministry of Environmental Forest and Ministry of Environment and Forest, and this mines are required to develop the environmental management plan, at which the problems of the mine fires are adequately addressed. At the mine fires have considerable environmental impact. So for getting or for having implementing a new project related to this mining industry, they have to get the environmental clearance certificate or environmental clearance from the MOEF, because the hazards which are related to this kind of mines that will adversely affect the environment. Moving on to the next disaster, that is the epidemics. So for the prevention as well as the mitigation of this epidemics, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is instrumental and they are responsible for the implementation of various programs on the uh, national scale in the areas of prevention and control of major communicable diseases. And the ministry also assists the states in preventing the and as well as controlling the spread of various seasonal disease outbreaks and epidemics through their technical support. And it actively involved in disease diagnosis during the epidemics and outbreak breaks and operational research as well as manpower development and advisory role and other malfarious activities towards the prevention as well as the control of cascade of the epidemic prone disease of large public health importance in collaboration with the National Institute of Communicable Disease, that is NICD, and external organizations and the institutes. So the next one is the measures which are taken for the rail safety. So several measures have been taken to improve the safety of rail transportations, which include the corporate safety plan and as well as the railway safety review committee. So in this report of this railway safety review committee, which has recommended the railways formulate a safety plan, and in this safety plan certain measures which are included, and those measures are the measures which are taken to reduce the derailment as well as the measures which are taken to reduce the collisions and measures taken to reduce the level crossing accidents and measures taken to reduce the fire accidents. So all these kind of measures which are taken for the smooth for reducing the risk of the hazards or whatever the disasters which are related to this uh, railway. And and the next is the uh, safety measures which are taken for reducing the accidents in the road. So the main thrust of the accident prevention as well as the control across the world, which are based on the four E's. The four E's includes the education and enforcement, engineering, and emergency care of the road accident victims. So all the main thrust of the prevention as well as the mitigation or control measures which are based on these four E's. So let's take the first one, that is the road engineering. These are the designs or the specifications which are related aspects of the needs roads as well as the highways to enhance the safety of the roads. So whatever the designs or the specifications which are needed for improving the quality of those kind of roads as well as the highways, which are including the road engineering. And another one is the enforcement. So the enforcement is basically the state government as well as the union territories. They will are to take measures, the related measures for enforcing the statutory provisions provided under the Motor Vehicle Act and the Central Motor Vehicle Rules. So these all are included under the enforcement. So the enforcement measures under the above said statutes and for providing the inspection as well as the licensing and verification of the fitness of the vehicles. And another one include the education and training. So the education and training, which this primarily includes the spreading as well as spreading the road safety awareness to the peoples, and imparting training to the drivers for reducing whatever the risk or hazards related to this or accidents related to this roads. And another one is the faster relief and evacuation of the accident victims. So all these are coming under the 4 E's. So the next is our civil aviation, and the Director General Civil Aviation, that is DGCA, has the regulatory responsibility for the aviation safety, and its mandate to ensure the highest degree or highest level of safety to the Indian aviation system by employing the International Civil Aviation Organization standards at recommended practices. And India's safety programs, that is SSP, by the DGCA, to maintain the integrated set of regulations as well as the activities which are aimed at enhancing the aviation safety. So these are some references, and thank you.